Alright, chair, need chair. Get the chair. Don't have any tea though. Okay, you know, the other day I tried to tell people that I don't actually get hungry. That didn't go down very well at the cafe. Today what I want to be talking about is a topic of discussion which I don't think a lot of people actually pay attention to when they not even transition, they just jump straight into a vegan diet. And that is me, personally. I am not vegan. Now I feel like I need to say that because within my earlier videos on my YouTube channel, I do say that I am, well, technically a vegan. And I've said that because of this one fact, okay? Everybody within society tries to make sense out of somebody by placing them into a box. There's nothing really wrong about that in the sense that they're just doing what they think they need to do in order to learn about somebody, okay? That's what learning is. You take what you already know and you try to attach it to something new. I'm something relatively new when it comes to what most people aren't used to hearing about, my kind of beingness. And back then, I just used what they already knew, which was veganism, in order to describe the fact that I don't eat anything that comes from an animal, okay? But really, I'm not vegan. I just stopped eating certain things because they didn't agree with me. And it just so happened to be meat. It just so happened to be dairy, cheese, milk, creams, ice creams, even cold foods, and some hot foods, if not all hot foods. I'm what I would like to call myself as a food intuitive. If I was to use any set of words which would make better sense out of what I am. I eat things, and then I feel into my body. What's my body saying? Am I getting bloating? Do I feel bloated? Not just logically, I can see that I'm bloated, but do I feel like crap after eating too much? Am I excessively eating something because it gives me joy and emotional comfort and emotional expression within my being? And why do I yearn that emotional expression to the point where I'll stuff myself with food that doesn't even satiate my tastes? It doesn't make me feel good. There's so many reasons as to why we do such things. And honestly, a wise man once said that we are all actually addicted to food no matter what diet you're on. You just simply switch from one addiction to another, you know? And that's because we're not actually okay with dealing with our issues, so we try to cover up with food. And if you fasted out there, then you'll really know what that means. Because I've tried telling people, you know, that I don't actually get hungry. I eat simply because I want to enjoy food, and even then, all I'm doing is I'm using that food as a kind of third-party attribute in order to trigger a memory where I felt a certain emotion, because I feel like I still need to experience that emotion. But as long as I get rid of that need, that belief system behind me needing that emotion, I all of a sudden don't need to experience that experience anymore through a memory or through conjuring up emotions from a memory. Then all of a sudden I don't need to eat that specific food. I lose my appetite, so to speak. So am I vegan? No, and I'm not vegan. And I wouldn't eat an animal simply because it makes me feel sick. And not only that, but emotionally, as a conscious living being in this body, I recognize other life forms, other consciousness aspects that are, well, like me. They think, they have a life, they have emotions, they have thoughts. I do not feel comfortable eating something that thinks. I don't. It doesn't feel right, so I wouldn't do it, okay? Notice I said it doesn't feel right. No logic is dictating my diet, my food choices. No logic. This is all knowing, inner knowing. This is all feeling and connecting to the body. This is how I've gotten to the state that I'm at, to the point where I'm not needing to eat, but I'm still choosing to eat every now and then, but even then, if I want to not eat anything, I can, you know? The only issue is that the body is kind of toxic. And then I get really, really detoxy, and then it's no fun. That sucks. Oh, one more thing before I close down. If you say that you are a vegan, you open yourself up to adopting characteristics from other people that also claim to be a vegan. You are what you believe, okay? And what you believe you are is something that you're seeing within your external environment. Meaning, if you see somebody who says that they're vegan, your subconscious mind will be like, oh, okay, I believe I'm vegan. I need to copy everything that person does and says. Now, I know it sounds very juvenile, right? But the fact of the matter is your subconscious mind literally thinks like that. And even if your ordinary awareness isn't aware of what your subconscious mind is doing, you're still doing it, okay? Maybe you'll be like, oh, I like him. I like the way they talk, or the way that they carry themselves, the way that they're always smiling. I'm going to do that more now. I'm going to be more happy and compassionate now. And you never really question as to why you think like that. But that's only if you're coming from a place of ego. Meaning, I need that ego to be reflected within this ego, so I'm going to shift some of my ego here, this character, this bundle of information, in order to better reflect what I believe I should be. Then what happens is you become very complacent, very demanding that everyone should change their diet. You become very angry, very spiteful within the world, and you start sharing a lot of posts all throughout the internet because you feel like it's your duty to spread the message by ramming it down people's throats who aren't asking for it. Okay? Social Dynamics 101. Do not come into a conversation with something that they're not already talking about. I know that might bother some people, but if you've ever tried this, you've come in with what you're interested in, maybe music or what you've just done on the weekend. That group is probably talking about ice cream. You come in with your rave, and they're like, well, we don't want to talk about Swedish House Mafia. You did that on the weekend? Who cares? We're talking about ice cream, right? And then they'll completely ignore you. They may not say that to you. All of that happens in a fraction of a second within their mind, and then they turn their back. It's Social Dynamics 101. So what you need to do is you need to relate with them first, and then you bring them out of their topic of discussion, and then you bring up your topic of discussion. Handy tip. If you've listened to them, they'll feel like that they have to listen to you now. Okay? I know that may sound manipulative. Just make sure that the piece that you're giving them is going to help them out. And again, don't ram anything down their throat. Don't literally bring them out of something that has nothing to do with veganism just to talk about veganism. That's not how we do it. Bring them out of something and then bring them into something that kind of relates, kind of fits. So they're talking about ice cream, talk about milkshakes. Okay, they're talking about ice cream, talk about when you went to Thorpe Park and had a milkshake. You know, kind of fits. That way you're being nice. And again, not too judgmental. Now, there is a time and place for people to hear about slaughter and rape and other sensitive topics when it comes to animals and so forth. And now really people have become numb to their empathic, emotional side. There are moments where you can have a conversation with somebody who's emotionally dead and bring them into it. Maybe they're talking about what they've just eaten. And they say, okay, what have you just eaten? I just had a raw vegan burger instead. Or maybe I just had a veggie burger instead. They'll say, why'd you do that? Now they're asking. Great. Now you can talk about some things pertaining to why you make certain foods a certain way. Or, just me makes me feel sick. And then it segues and it develops into you, eventually telling them the message that they need to hear. Maybe your story, That's how you be you, and you share your wisdom, your knowledge, your knowledge, your knowingness inside. You know it, right? Internally, that's how you share your knowledge. That is the complete opposite of what a vegan personality would do. A vegan personality construct, or in other words, a vegan ego that has been created because that person believes that they need to be that way. because they say that they are vegan. So I'm Ryan JC, Ryan James Cropper. This has been Your Potential. I hope I've made you a little bit more aware of what you possibly could be doing. Please don't make that mistake. A lot of people make this mistake. And this doesn't just pertain to saying the I am vegan saying. This also pertains to you saying, I am a businessman, I am a woman, I am a man, I am manly, I am feminine. Any I am that continues with something else is a trap, okay? Just be you. What is you? I am what? Right? Just be you. I'll speak to you all pretty soon. Peace.